Week 5 PFR Scoreboard ready to go. Just when we thought it would be chalk tonight, no upsets. A lot of upsets.
a lot of upsets, yeah. You're right. I was very upset on a lot of the upsets.
You're still a little upset
Yeah.
with all the upsets.
But the red check mark bounced back.
Hey, was there any doubt?
Yeah.
2-0, could have gone 4-0, but we'll get to
That's
that a little later on. Hey, everybody's that was unbeaten before is still unbeaten tonight. That will change next week, though. All that coming up next on PFR Scoreboard.
Pinnacle Hospital is a collaboration between physicians and medical practitioners providing care in a private, personal setting. Pinnacle Hospital offers both inpatient and outpatient care, including laboratory and imaging services. Pinnacle Hospital in Crown Point.
Who is the dark afraid of? His name is Tim. When you report a power outage, Tim and linemen like him respond to the call. Text OUT to 444-111 to report an outage. With your cell phone, when the power's out, power is still in your hands. A Flex Equity line from Tech Credit Union gives you convenient access to cash whenever you need it. This home equity loan features a low introductory rate and no closing costs. Tech Credit Union is an equal housing lender and is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration. Learn more at techcu.org or call Tech Credit Union at 800-276-TECH.
Programming on Lakeshore Public Television is provided by Strack & Van Til Food Market. Custom decorated cakes, breads, and baked goods right from the oven. Domestic meats and artisan cheeses in every store. 7 days a week, fresh is more than just a word. Strack & Van Til, built around you.
PFR Scoreboard on Lakeshore Public Television. We are ready to go. Start off with a big Duneland Conference matchup. And Wayne, we thought was going to be another bad weather night, but it was a dry night.
It was beautiful
Yeah,
out there.
some good football weather.
And I'll tell you, Michigan City's defense came back tonight and played very well.
Well, I'll tell you, though, Maryville continued to play offensively, though, and got some points out of this game.
They did, but their turnovers, they had a couple of interceptions that really hurt them early, right through one. It was on like the 17-yard line, their own 17. And Michigan City took advantage of them.
And Michigan City did not turn the ball over like they did last week. Let's go to the highlights. Demery Stadium, beautiful Demery Stadium on a beautiful night for high school football. And a great matchup between a couple of Duneland powers. And as you said, Wayne, that's Kejon Thomas with the catch for Maryville, but a nice tackle wrapped up by Michigan City.
And I think this is Kane Vesey here, number 6 here, and he had one heck of a night. This is hurt right here.
I don't know. I don't think so, Wayne.
Really?
I think 5 is Kane Vesey right there. He of the bigger legs and bigger thighs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He had a tremendous night. Maryville coming around the end. I like how Maryville continued to fight. They got down early.
Yep.
They were down 28-14 for a long time, but they continued to play. Their defense had a rough time stopping City, but their offense continued to play.
That was a really nice catch and run by Keyshawn McGill for Michigan City. And then nice field goal. And then this is
that's
Kane Vesey right
there.
there.
That's the big, strong legs of Kane Vesey, who I believe accounted for a lot of the rushing yards in the second half of this football game for Michigan City. What a difference a week makes psychologically after kind of being dominated by Valpo last week. Got a little confidence back. looking to against one of their big rivals. Yeah,
that's power running.
That's taking names, knocking guys down.
Boy, that is.
And very impressive run by Kane VC as Michigan City held on. Maryville, I guess, scored with 11 seconds left. Had a chance to recover the onside. Couldn't get it done. They win because Michigan City. Maryville now at LaPorte. LaPorte with the lead in the DAC based on their outcome tonight. They will have the lead going into next Friday night's Duneland Conference. They control their own destiny now in terms of a Duneland Conference championship, Wayne.
And they have played very, very well. They were down early, I think, to Lake Central and came back to win that one.
All right, let's go out to the Andrean-Hobart game. The 59ers looked like a team last week offensively on the verge of busting out.
Yes.
And to a big surprise, they did that tonight.
Boy, did they ever. They really took it to Hobart.
They did. Offensively, their best game of the season. Andrean and Hobart, some highlights to look at from that ball game. This is Deontay Kelly out at the Brickyard.
Kind of
had
punts
an
it
issue
around
with
a little bit, but boy.
Okay, had an issue with the return, and Hobart got him down. Here's Emilio Starks hitting the backfield for a loss. The Bricky defense got off to a good start.
Ooh, this is a nice one. This is a kick return.
Is that Brandon James? That's 7. Yep,
Yep,
Brandon James
Brandon
down
James.
the far sideline into Andrean territory. Nick Ray had a big night. He had 4 touchdowns for the Brickies. And Patrick Reardon had a huge night for Andrean.
He really did.
I think that's Y-U-G-E. Huge night.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I know Andrean was waiting for him to take off.
Yeah.
And he really had an excellent throwing night.
Emilio Starks there, and here he is again.
Oh, there he is.
Teely Ryan.
That's right.
Who's definitely headed for the all-name team. He came out and had a big party last week, and Teely Ryan got it done again tonight with a nice touchdown run. Nick Ray was the workhorse tonight for the Brickies, Wayne.
Yes, he was.
4 TDs.
But Andrean kind of stymied Hobart's passing game. This is a nice pass there by Nicky Wolf.
Yeah, they did. But again, Hobart continued to fight their way back as well for a while in this football game. Really surprised that Andrean busted out offensively against the Bricky defense.
Yes, I was too. I really thought that Hobart's defense was going to step up. And well, last week, we shouldn't be too surprised. Last week, like we said, Andrean had really a good offensive game.
They did.
against
A lot
Munster,
of
but
yards.
just didn't score.
Just left points on the field because they didn't get it in the end zone.
Right.
And give credit to Munster's defense last week for getting that done.
Give credit to Andrean for making a big change this week and getting it done.
Emilio Starks with the catch there. So Highland and Andrean, Hobart at Lowell next week. A little bit of upset. Andrean 55-28. So the check mark didn't have the courage to
Take that
pick
one.
Michigan City or
I didn't have the courage to take him either.
Andrean last night. But hey, that's what happens.
When you have parity.
Yeah.
That's right.
Let's go out to the burial grounds. LC hosting LaPorte. And the Duneland Conference leaders, how would they fare against the Blue Indians? Let's check out some of the highlights of that game. This was a close game the entire night, Wayne.
Yeah, it was. Lake Central took a little lead, and then LaPorte had to come back.
And Lake Central's defense for the greater part of 3 quarters.
That's right.
Kind of bottled up what looks like the best offense in Northwest Indiana. Wayne?
I think this is Anthony Giles.
Yes, he had a couple of long touchdown runs called back by penalties tonight.
Boy.
Or this could have been a different ball game. Kyle Paul with a catch for LC. There's Giles again. I think this is Justin Ali going into the end zone for the TD.
There's another nice run. Look at this one
Great
here.
cutback there. LaPorte's defense has given up some points this year, but they've scored enough to overcome it. And that was the case again tonight.
Yes, it was.
It just took Brennan Long and company a little while to get it going offensively tonight, Wayne. Boy, great tackle there. Scott Cooper, we're going to see him right here get the catch right in front of the defender and take it the distance to the house. Yep. He is an outstanding target for the big tight end. Laporte doesn't throw a ton,
no,
but they are very efficient when they do throw it.
Yes, yes. Lorenzen is our quarterback, and he does an excellent job of connecting with his receivers. This is another nice run here.
Yep, Drayson Nepso with a nice run there.
They got a number of backs that are pretty good.
Yeah, they've got some balance, and they've got some weapons.
Yeah, they got a huge offensive line that's doing a great job.
Right. They again, this was 21-17 late in this game, and then 2 late touchdowns. One of them, Laporte recovered a kickoff after their touchdown to give them a 28-17 lead. Maryville at Laporte, LC at Michigan City. We saw those earlier. Those are our big matchups next week in the Dueling Conference. Okay, Munster and Morton. It was homecoming.
Yes, homecoming.
Out there tonight, Wayne, at Munster High. So there was a lot of celebrating going on out at Munster High. And Cami Keklik, I think, the outstanding soccer player,
really
won the homecoming queen tonight.
Homecoming queen. She'll remember this game.
Yeah, she sure will. Let's go to the highlights. Morton and Munster. Here is the Governors on offense. Wayne getting off to a great start. Trayshawn Clements.
You know, they did. They get off to a great start, and they just could not hold on. Again, penalties were their nemesis all night long.
There it was. And Munster, maybe, not as great a performance as the last 2 weeks, although that guy's a stud, Jalen Scott.
Yes, Jalen Scott is.
Who had a long touchdown, I think on a kickoff return.
Yes.
Right? That was a beautiful slant pattern. Jumonville continues to play very well at quarterback for Munster. And Morton, as you said, Wayne, still making some mistakes, but they've cut down on them, and that's allowed them to be a little more effective on offense.
Yeah, and I thought that Munster's defense kind of stepped up and caused some of those mistakes, and they played fairly well tonight. Also, I think Coach Marsh probably was pretty happy with keeping Tevin Armstrong under control.
Yeah, Armstrong, I think some of the defenses maybe trying to force the Morton pass game into the short.
Yes.
Because they don't maybe think he's going to throw the deep ball, and maybe they want him to throw the deep ball. As you see it picked off
there.
Right there with Vince Bravo with the interception for the Stangs. Here's Dimitri Fotopoulos coming up after the Jalen Scott catch. There you go.
There you go. Nice. Those crossing patterns really are
they ran a lot
hard
of those
to
tonight.
defend.
There's the final, 20-7 Munster. They got a big rivalry game next week against Griffith.
Yes.
I think that's going to be a really good ball game. EC at Morton.
I think that's going to be a good ball game.
EC looking to take
well.
taking another step toward a conference title.
I agree.
That would not be very nice for East Chicago to move into the Hammond Conference and just win the conference title the first year. Well, that's really not going to be a gracious entrance if they go ahead and pull that win off.
I don't think EC cares.
All right. They're not really concerned about whether it's gracious or not.
If they can win it, they're going to win it.
Okay. I like that. All right. How about some scores? We'll take you through all the scores in Northwest Indiana tonight. It was a defensive battle, Wayne. But Portage wins. They got a big sack from Jimmy Craven. Christian West had a big pass breakup. And it was the Portage defense that overcame some offensive misfiring and a great Crown Point defense tonight to win for Portage.
You know, Crown Point had a couple injuries. Gomez, their top running back, was taken out. In fact, their second string running back was taken out. But still, you can't take anything away from Portage.
Speaking of injuries, the PFR Underground is reporting tonight, Wayne, that Jordan Jusevich is out for the year.
For the year now?
With an injury.
Okay.
That's what again, we don't know. We just get these emails And it says Dear PFR Underground, so we don't know where that's coming from. But that's what we have to report. The Underground gets great information, and so we have to report it once we do get it. Jager Gill for Lowell had a 58-yard TD for Lowell in their win. Elsewhere, Griffith hangs on. KV had a 40-plus yard field goal in the fourth quarter that just had the distance, was a little wide right. Calumet, another big win over Knoll tonight. South Central with a win,
right.
Wayne.
South Central with a big one. And North Newton.
There's the shocker.
There's the shocker. North Newton blanks Wheeler.
First time North Newton's been 4-1 since 1993. Alex Getz had a pick for the Spartans tonight. They tossed the shutout. Hanover Central, 5-0, big
5-0.
showdown. Next week at Whiting. Whiting wins tonight over Lake Station. No question what our game of the week is next week. 5-0 Hanover, 5-0 Whiting next Friday night. West Lafayette all over the Bombers.
Yeah, and Knox playing really, really well. I really thought that John Glenn would get this one. This was a red check mark.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
But
Knox,
I thought that
buoyed by the red check mark. And thus the red check mark 2-0 tonight.
That's right.
Could have gone 4-0.
That's right.
With a little courage.
We'll hear about that Thursday.
And tonight. All right. The game of the night is coming up. Highlights, analysis next for the Battle of Porter County right after this on PFR Scoreboard.
For more information on everything Prep football, visit us on Facebook or on Twitter at PFR Sports.
All right, it is time for the game of the night, the Battle of Porter County, Wayne. And Twitter reports tonight as well that our buddy Jim Peters from the Times, who follows Chesterton on a weekly basis, was the winner of the game ball.
Really?
Raffle.
Oh, the raffle, okay.
The game ball raffle.
I thought he picked the winning score.
I thought Coach Hoffman wouldn't let things like that happen, a member of the media winning the game ball. But, hey, that's what we saw on Twitter. We're just reporting what's out there. All right, let's check out some of the highlights. Valpo's offense is coming.
Yes, it is.
They've got some confidence. They've got some diversity. Their O-line starting to believe, Wayne.
And you know that the combination of LeFew and Bezecki was really kind of controlled today by Chesterton, but the running game took over.
Our buddy Dr. Amons was breaking it down, the principal, on Lakeshore Game Night, and he's told us that Jay Bezecki's been seeing a lot of double teams, Wayne.
Yes.
On offense.
Boy, Reed does a good job.
I'm digging the unis.
Yes.
Are those the new unis via the old Major League pitcher with his sizable donation? It could be.
Jeff Smargian.
Yeah.
Yeah. But their defense has really, really been consistent now.
Sean Miller had a big pick tonight for Valpo. Chesterton struggling a little to find their identity on offense. There's a nice touchdown run, though. Lyric McFarland had a big TD run in this game. But Mr. Lichtenberger has had a tremendous year, as had really Zach Jones. Here's a great-looking return for the Vikings.
Look at that one.
Shane Gagliano. Can he go the distance?
Darn right. He
will go all the way for the touchdown. 38 points against LaPorte. Big offensive night last week. Tossed a shutout. More big numbers offensively tonight. Very impressive.
Very, very impressive. And really, the DAC is still not over. I mean,
no, it's not.
There are other teams that can, tie for this league, but I'm really been impressed with Valparaiso and how well they've
They're
played.
coming.
Yes,
I mean,
they are.
the one, they were up 38-24 late. You know, we're going to, against LaPorte. LaPorte came back with the 2 scores, 2-point conversion, 17 seconds left. The opening night loss to Penn. Other than that, it's been a tremendous year for Valpo.
Yes, it has.
They still have a couple of big hurdles, but if LaPorte slips up, maybe against Maryville next week, Valpo's still there for a chance at the conference title.
That's right.
LaPorte now 6A. Valpo could get a rematch in the postseason. You never know.
Boy, that would be.
Remember when LaPorte went to the state finals? They were in 5A. They are now up to 6A, with the reclassification last year. So you put great defense for Valpo, you put an improving offense, you put those together, and that's pretty good.
That is. That bodes well for Valpo.
Yeah.
It really does.
All right, there is the big win for the Vikes tonight. I think we've got rapid fire scores coming up, Wayne. A couple more notes we can pass along with the rapid fire scores. I know Hanover Central had 409 yards rushing tonight.
Wow.
James DeLang over 100 with 3 TDs, and Dustin Lindley had 139 with 2 TDs. I like Lake Central's effort tonight. They were down 21-7. Yes. They responded. They played hard. They were some penalties and a couple plays here and there from winning tonight, Wayne.
Yeah, and I like Portage's effort too.
Right.
Normally you say if you can give up only 7 points, you should win the game. Well, Portage's defense came to play tonight.
Anthony Maceo struggled throwing the ball a little tonight. His defense lifted up the offense.
I think he
Portage, one final drive last week away from winning 4 in a row.
That's right.
Against Maryville in the bad weather.
I like Michigan City's bounce back.
Yeah.
Not only did they win, but they won at Maryville. And that I really think that this was a statement game for Michigan City.
I think one Phil Mason has won 4 in a row against Maryville.
Yes, I believe so
3
too.
with Andrean and 1 with Michigan City. All right, elsewhere on the scoreboard.
I like Andrean.
I'm scratching my head on the Hobart defense tonight.
I know, and I'm thinking, wow, 55 points against Hobart.
I know penalties and turnovers hurt their defense, put them in some bad spots. Griffith survived tonight.
Yeah, I was surprised, only scoring 13 points. Kudos to Valley.
This is kind of a trap game for Griffith tonight, but they won. Got Lowell last week, big win. Got, the red and white. They might have been looking ahead to the other red and white tonight.
They might have.
With the Munster Mustangs next week.
KV had a shot with a field goal and missed it.
KV played pretty well tonight. Lowell bounced back, dealing with their injury problems. Munster, not a great effort, but they'll be ready to go next week against Griffith.
East Chicago
with the big shutout.
They're just rolling right now.
Gavitt struggled tonight, and that's another game you did not get correct.
God, those Illinois schools just keep snacking up.
They're not good for your record. As is Hammond.
Yes, Hammond had a nice game.
18-6, they went over West Side. Hammond was due.
Calumet on a roll here against
second win of the season. Hanover rolling into that big showdown next Friday night.
South Central doing a nice job on River Forest.
And really, you look at the South US 30 football this year, you got Knox, you got North Newton, you got some teams that are playing, teams that have been down for a while.
Yes, you are.
1993, I'm not a math major, but that was about 23 years ago.
2023.
Since they were 4-1.
Yep.
That's pretty good to be bouncing back like that. And John Glenn with a nice win tonight. They
lost.
Knox with the nice win over John Glenn tonight. The Knox Redskins are having a outstanding year. 6-6 a year ago. They're looking to have a winning season.
Bowman at Roosevelt tomorrow.
So Hanover and Whiting next Friday night, our game of the week.
Hanover and Whiting.
That's okay with you?
That's okay.
You're going to approve that?
That's right.
All right. We will hopefully be out to visit with Coach Koulianis and Coach Kane as we prepare for a small school undefeated matchup, and we'll have that next Thursday night on PFR. Good night.
Pinnacle Hospital is a collaboration between physicians and medical practitioners providing care in a private, personal setting. Pinnacle Hospital offers both inpatient and outpatient care, including laboratory and imaging services. Pinnacle Hospital in Crown Point.
Who is the dark afraid of? His name is Tim. When you report a power outage, Tim and linemen like him respond to the call. Text OUT to 444-111 to report an outage. With your cell phone, when the power's out, power is still in your hands. A Flex Equity line from Tech Credit Union gives you convenient access to cash whenever you need it. This home equity loan features a low introductory rate and no closing costs. Tech Credit Union is an equal housing lender and is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration. Learn more at techcu.org or call Tech Credit Union at 800-276-TECH.
Programming on Lakeshore Public Television is provided by Strack and Van Til Food Market. Custom decorated cakes, breads, and baked goods right from the oven. Domestic meats and artisan cheeses in every store. 7 days a week, fresh is more than just a word. Strack and Van Til, built around you.
Captioning for PFR and PFR Scoreboard is provided by Voice to Print Captioning, LLC. Wardrobe for PFR and PFR Scoreboard provided by Gosser Corporate Sales Incorporated. Custom embroidery, screen, and digital printing. Further support provided by Fahrenheit 212 Restaurant and Bar.